Hello, this is Hyun from Yonsei. I'm here to give you my book review on Cloud Atlas. Among the contemporary novels written in English, there are four novels that can be defined as dystopian, or I argue that parts of novels have a dystopian nature. They are Kazuo Ishigro's Never Let Me Go, and Lee Chang-le's On Such a Full Sea, Russo Zucchi's Tale for the Time Being, and David Mitchell's Cloud Atlas. These dystopian novels harbor metaphors about the modern catastrophes that our lives are currently undergoing. The melancholy narrative about the merciless humans who are educating clones for organ eviction in Never Let Me Go reminds me of our animal farming in poor conditions. And such a full sea has novelistic connotation for an American issue such as Obamacare and Korean phenomenon that test results determine students' happiness and their future social class. A, a tale for the time being criticized um, Japanese bullying culture, one of the serious social problems in Japan. But the novel also finds its solution in traditional Japanese Buddhism. I cannot tell you about all these four novels because we have time issue. And so today in this video, I'm going to tell you more about David Mitchell's Cloud Atlas. Then on Orison of Sonmi 451, one of the six narratives of Cloud Atlas. How can it be interpreted in relation to certain social phenomena in this real world? In other words, I question that what issues of reality does this novel describe or represent in a novelistic way? To answer and discuss the question, I think I can give you three of my interpretations on the novel. Um, First, uh, the fabricants who wipe the table a thousand times a day, who are allowed only to use extremely limited language. Their form of work represents the service industry labor in modern Korean society. Second, one of the fabricants, Yuna 939's humanization, the ascension, explains the process of human language development. Third, uh, the scene of Sunmi, who escaped from the dinery, witnesses the massacre of fabricants such um, as herself at the Golden Ark, and later when she tells her story to the archivist, it reminds us of the oral testimony of the Holocaust survivors during World War II. Um, Born in Korea after hundreds of years, Sunmi 451 is a mass-produced clone from Womtank to work as a server for Papa Song Dinery. These millions of Sunmis, called fabricants, are able to communicate enough to receive food orders from people, the pure bloods. Fabricants are genetically genomed to work more than 20 hours a day, and they imbibe soap to deaden their curiosity. Their brains are manipulated to be governed by the catechism so that they always remember the mistakes trigger the dreadful punishment of re-education, and the faithful performance will be the joy of being rewarded a star in a final station of glory called exaltation. The fact that these restaurant servers were genetically engineered to understand and to speak only a limited level of language, it is a novelistic acquisition of infringement of the right to express in the workplace. In particular, what this futuristic episode depicts is the present state of countless emotional laborers who are forced to give up their personality in service-related industries. From one day on, Sami 451, uh, her co-worker, Yuna 939, experiences her gradual internal change. This humanization, called ascension, evokes the following three intellectual developments. Um, it is first, owning of personal thoughts, known to purebloods as sentience. Second, having language evolved, the ability to substitute the word good with favorable, pleasing, or correct. Third, the growing curiosity about all things. Yuna's ascension finally raised her to become to speak more, to have her speech more complex, and to take pleasure in humor by humming Papa's song in absurd variations. Yuna's humanization, the great revolutionary results for the fabricants, began with the acquisition of language. It eventually led to many questions and doubts that can shake even Sonmi's love of Papa Song and face incorporacy to the core. As David Mitchell says, humor is the ovum of dissent and the jute should fear it. Catechism 3 teaches that for servers to keep anything denies Papa Song's love for them and cheats his investment. Yuna's intellectual change causes both pangs of hunger for internal and external ownership. By having a secret to keep the flashlight that the customer has left in her own narrow storeroom, and by inviting her friend Sonmi into her secret, she asserts that they have the right to violate unwanted rules as well as the right to express it to someone. When Yuna 939 said to Sonmi 451 that you are inside my secret, it is no longer a secret. This act of confession marks the first step toward a path of human revolution in which the courage to carry out the risk of being de-starred and those who share this will together can move in the direction the flashlight points to. Yuna 939 is a philosophical medium that shows the development of human society. Uh, when she says perhaps the light is life's sister, the reader meets Yuna as a person, not a clone. Soon after the witness of her co-worker's horrendous death, Yuna's ascension aroused with Sunmi, and she escaped the Papa Song dinery with the help of Professor Matthew. To urge Sunmi to join the union, the abolitionists, Hejoim shows her the truth about exaltation of fabricants who are 12-starred. Papa Song's golden ark, the ship, that all the clones who paid off their investment after a dozen years of laboring heading for was actually a slaughterhouse where corporocracy legally murders exhausted clones. The writing power learned through the reading of various humanities books enables Sunmi to make a decision to compose the Declaration of Rights, the acquisition of the shocking consequences of technological advances, the rebuke of the results of unfulfilled human hunger. By the time she wrote the declaration, Sami realized that everything she experienced after the dinery escape was the pure blood conspiracy to make the fabricants look more mistrustful. Professor Maffei and Hejuim were only the actors who belonged to unanimity, the clone labor advocates. The archivist asked her why she cooperated with the scripted events even though she knew everything was a fake. Sunmi replies, no matter how many of us you kill, you will never kill your successor. When Sunmi says her guards told her there is even talk of a statewide vigilance day against fabricants who show signs of the declarations, and her ideas have been reproduced a billionfold. She believes that her interview will eventually be kept in someone's Orison and spread out to the world. It will lead her future audience to join her ideas and voices. As Hanmi foresaw, Meranim, one of the five Prussians who survived the apocalypse, hundreds of years later, downloaded Sonmi's interview to her Orison to study Sonmi, who remained it as a religion of Jackie's Valisman. To Jackie, who asked where she was after seeing a girl in manner named Orison, she answers that Sonmi is a memory. Sonmi's interview is a kind of testimony, I think, particularly in the last part of the episode. A description of the process of extracting protein from the corpses of Africans is an accusation to the settings of carnage. She accuses the atrocities committed on the ship. She says that the blood-soaked workers were cutting the bodies with sharp scissors and saws, and the workers snipped off collars, stripped clothes, and shaved the follicles and peeled skin, and cut off hands and legs, sliced off meat and spooned organs. She testifies that the drains hoovered the blood and the noise of genocide was deafening. This is the testimony of an eyewitness who has seen the apocalypse, the extinction of humanity. She also says, I saw cadavers on the monorail, ascending the stairwell. I saw them hoisted aloft the execution room. The use of this past verb saw she uses in succession resonates with readers because unlike the object evidence such as data and documents, personal confession has a desperate voice. Um, this is what I can tell you about Sunmi narrative in Cloud Atlas. Like I said in the earlier part of this video, Sunmi episode in Cloud Atlas is one of the 6 narratives of the book. So there are 5 more other stories in the book called the Cloud Atlas. So the rest of the book, I want you to read more and leave your interpretation and your feedback about the novel below my video. So um, for today, that's it, and I will come back soon with another book review. So until then, well, I'll say goodbye. Bye.